Transportation Secretary Shoutout announcing the DOT has secured a $150 million grant to build a new port of entry on the San Diego-Baja California border. Duffy saying the following, thanks to the prior administration's lack of focus, is critical projects sat in limbo for 2 years. No more. We need to finalize this deal so we can help protect our southern border. Duffy says the new port will cut down on southern property. 14 minutes after the hour now, 2 legal doctors from Venezuela, including one with suspected ties to Nicaragua, are now facing charges of kidnapping, torturing, and attempting to kill a woman from Washington State. The 2 migrants are accused of forcing a woman into a this apartment complex before using a power drill on her hand to torture her into giving them her phone bank information. They then allegedly shot her and left her on the side of the road. Charles Marino is a former Secret Service agent and a former DHS advisor. Charles, when you hear the horrific details of this case, don't you just scratch your head as to why Democrats are not fully on board with President Trump's illegal immigration agenda?
Well, they certainly never spoke out against this. All these criminals and dangerous national security threats making their way into the country during the Biden administration, whose policies undercut our entire homeland security apparatus. And I think this is a perfect example of that. Public safety threats were streaming across the border while CBP and ICE were prevented from doing their jobs and were required to aid in the processing of these very dangerous people into the country. At the end of the day, what the Trump administration is doing is absolutely correct. Sealing off that border and prioritizing these criminal and national security threats to be deported. Also, there were legal pathways into the country like parole and asylum that were also being exploited by the Biden administration. The CHNB TPS program, that's a temporary parole status that was given to a place like Venezuela. We have to thank for Nicaragua. They went. We were not vetting these people as they made their way into the country, and they're harming Americans and others.
This is one of those situations where when you look at the record of crossing numbers, you have to ask yourself, what's the biggest factor? Is it the enforcement? Is it the deterrence? Is it some combination of both? Regardless of what it is, Charles, it's working, and that is a benefit for the United States of America. One thing that you do not work though, we seem to have trouble in our country protecting our leaders, from the president to the governor of Pennsylvania on down. Here's President Trump demanding answers on his assassination.
Very well said. There's a couple of nut jobs.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. I'll be honest, it has not been explained to me perfectly by the Secret Service and the FBI. We have somebody, 2 good people running that. And I would like to hear the explanation. Even if it's not released to the public, I should be allowed to hear it.
These kind of assassination attacks cannot happen in the United States of America, regardless of party, regardless of whether it's the president, the governor, whoever. How can we stop it, Charles?
Well, look, the divisiveness is there, the global threats are there, and these agencies that are providing protection need to start investing in these programs. Protection is not something you do halfway. If that's the case, I say don't do it at all. You need protective intelligence programs on the proactive side to monitor and analyze those threats that are out there, and you need an adequate line of defense. That is resourcing these programs to match the threat level, whether we're talking about President Trump or Governor Shapiro. Obviously, that did not happen. Protection requires an attention to detail, a thoroughness to make sure that all threats are being mitigated, whether it's by the overall security plan during travel or at a primary residence, and also while conducting the protective intelligence functions to make sure that that risk level is constantly being assessed.
And you mentioned that we're returning to it, talking about the border report. If the bad guys know that you're securing these uncommon targets, because that's what they are, that increases the chance that they're going to try and act. If they see an opportunity, it increases the chance. So we need, to your point, Charles, do something and do something quick. Charles Marino, always great to have your insight. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Now let's go to senior meteorologist Jasmine with our Fox weather forecast. Jasmine.
And I see a little snow on the northeast map just right now. So, right? Are we still
Outward Blast, a memorable show for Syracuse, New York, is April 12th, but the latest to be May 17th. So yes, I am from Canada. I know what it's like to be still another day in a house before. But you know what? We want spring to come, so we're going to try to make that happen, especially as we go through the Easter weekend. Here is your forecast today. One thing that we will have to do, of course, for your multi-day event starting tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Marz hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and heavy rainfall in some of the same areas that have been soaked with heavy rain. And we also have snow across the Rockies. We will continue to monitor all of the above, but again, the potential for heavy rain and severe weather as we get into the Easter weekend will continue to keep you up to date. But you know what? In New York, I saw that on Saturday we get 82 degrees for one day. Whoa! One day! And back to, cooler weather. Okay, we will take it. We'll take it. One little voice to count the hour period.
Everybody will start to get a little sweaty on Saturday, and then we'll chill out on Sunday.
Right. We don't like melted chocolate.
No, we do not.
Okay, you do. All right, we have all heard about Yeehaw. But I went abroad making 9 new executive orders to make Indiana.
Plus, President Joe making our families a priority as the tariff war with Beijing escalates. We'll talk to India, how you think, Japan, about all of that after the break. In the fast-paced world of business, sales and telecom taxes can feel painful and overwhelming. At Compliance Solutions, we simplify registration and reporting for small business owners, CFOs, and indirect tax managers. We have the system, process, and people to handle your sales with 911, FCC, SALT, and transactions. Visit us online or give us a call today so you can focus on what really matters, your customers. We're celebrating 5 years of non-toxic cooking. Back in 2017, I came home one night, forgot my non-stick pan, turned on my burner, totally forgot that I left the pan on the open flame. About 45 minutes later, I started smelling fumes and smoke. From this experience, got really inspired to find an alternative to Teflon and launch something in the market that was safe to use, easy to use, and well designed. With that, Fairway Home is born. Thank you all for the incredible support over the last 5 years. Here's to building a healthier home over the next 5. Hi, I'm Alejandro, founder of Modern Bath. We're on a mission to make the world's best fitting pair of jeans. Our signature jeans have dynamic stretch to provide flexibility. From the very beginning, Modern Bath jeans were made to balance fit, style, and comfort. Do it all with Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Why would you buy life insurance from anyone else when Senior Life gives you all your money back? It's simple. When other companies say they save you a percentage of your money, Senior Life says we give it all back. That's right. With return of premium life insurance from Senior Life, we don't save you a percentage of your money, we give it all back. 100%. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. While others may talk about saving you money, Senior Life is the only one giving it all back. Return of premium term life insurance gives you protection if you need it and 100% cash back if you don't. Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number on your screen now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers on television, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters.
In February 2016, my husband was diagnosed with mesothelioma. We could have never handled this disease and this case without the expert help of Morgan & Morgan. They've been with us every step of the way.
Call 1-800-602-7800. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Discover the power of Wegovy. With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
And I keep weight off.
Reducing my risk.
Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with heart disease and obesity.
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or planning. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes, if you feel your heart racing while at rest, or if you have mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headache, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and heartburn. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm keeping it on.
I'm lowering my CV risk.
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy.
It's a blue cup. It's RVs. Spring Plus. Pick your RV, pick your payments. With new RVs from $97 a month. Every RV comes with a 1-year VIP membership to RV Complete. A $5,000 value. Visit us online or in store today.
You make me feel so miserable.
Flonase relieves your worst allergy symptoms, so you can start feeling better the same day and save your relationship with nature. Flonase.
The Trump administration is reportedly looking to use its ongoing tariff battle to isolate China by encouraging our trade partners to limit China's involvement in their economies. And apparently the president's trade moves are already paying off. The White House says the administration has been presented with offers from more than a dozen countries. Listen.
You've heard from numerous administration officials. There have been many talks in the country. We've had more than 15 deals, pieces of paper put on the table for considered. And as we said, consistently more than 75 countries have reached out. So there's a lot of work to do. We very much understand that, but we do believe that we can announce this deal very soon.
Indiana Congressman Jim Barrett sits on the House Agriculture and Household Affairs Committee, and he joins us now. Congressman, good morning to you. So, what do you think? What do your constituents think, from small business owners to farmers? What do they think about these tariff negotiations and where they stand right now?
I think our farmers and ranchers support President Trump and the America First agenda. It's our agriculture industry understands the need to create a level playing field and to sell our products around the world. So we could possibly use some of the income from these tariffs to help bolster our farmers, our producers, and even our manufacturing industry, agribusinesses that are associated with our food production. So I have every confidence that President Trump is a master negotiator, and he'll get other countries to come to the table and give us what we need. He's been operating as an addict for decades.
You know, the Congressman, when it comes to China, the Wall Street Journal has a really interesting article about the ultimate goal when it comes to these tariff negotiations. The President administration is saying to all the countries coming to the table right now, we'll make a deal with you if you limit your involvement with China. Here's the quote. The journal right here. The idea is to extract commitments from U.S. trading partners to isolate China's economy in exchange for reductions in trade and tariff barriers imposed by the White House. Those measures will support and dent in China's already rickety economy and force states into the negotiating table with less leverage ahead of potential talks between Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. So what do you think about that? When many people accuse the Trump administration of not having a plan, this could be the ultimate end goal. And if effective, what does that mean for our future?
Well, I think the President has done a very good job, and as I said earlier, he's a master negotiator, and I think the techniques that he uses to bring other countries to discuss our relationship as well as our exports and imports is extremely important. So I have every confidence the President has got a plan. He doesn't necessarily need to reveal that to ourselves or to the present time. From the standpoint, he takes the leverage away from his ability to negotiate. So farmers and ranchers, we're right into planting season here in the Midwest. We're in stages and putting on anhydrous and that sort of thing. So
we're interested in making sure that we get these dropped out, and by doing that, it'll give us more time to resolve these tariffs.
Okay, so Vice President, this Indiana Governor Mike Braun yesterday signed a non-executive order to make Indiana healthy again alongside HHS Secretary Kate Jr. and Dr. Oz, who's now the head of the Medicare and Medicaid office. So listen here to this.
The goal is to empower users to address root causes of chronic illness with prevention, nutrition, physical activity, and early screening.
That we have a generational opportunity to make this country as healthy as it should be. I've been to a bunch of states announced our initiative, and this one really broke the bank. We can't be a strong nation if we're not a strong people.
Indiana seems like a healthy state, but I guess there's always room for improvement, Congressman.
Absolutely, and taking the sugar and carbohydrates out of reducing those in some of our diets, feeding them, it is extremely important. And their health is extremely important to the success of the country as well as their own success. So taking a look at our nutrition and the programs that we support with the Medicare, Medicaid, not Medicare, the Medicaid program is worthy of having evaluated. So I commend the governor and his efforts to make sure that young people are healthy and exercise they need and the opportunity to go and be strong.
Secretary, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Speaking of RFK Jr., happening today, Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. will hold a press conference to discuss new CDC data on autism. The report showing autism in the U.S. has increased from 1 in 36 children diagnosed to 1 in 31. HHS officials say they are committed to investigating this. Hopefully we'll get some new information in September. President Trump is praising the president of Harvard University, writing on his social. Perhaps Harvard should lose its tax-exempt status and be taxed as a political entity. It would be pushing political, ideological, and terrorist-inspired supporting sickness. Remember, tax-exempt status is totally contingent on acting in the public interest.
School rejecting the Trump administration's demands, most notably having to do with DEI and banning anti-Semitism on campus, American principles. Project President Terry Schiller joins us now. Terry, this standoff between Harvard and the President of the United States have really escalated in the last 48 hours alone. Who goes first, Terry? Well, thanks so much, Tony Harley. I think that Harvard's going to play first. Right, I think President Trump is exactly right. He's basing all of his decisions based off of civil rights law. And civil rights law we came up with in the 60s to eradicate America's systemic racism and anti-Semitism and really bigotry. And Harvard is violating all of these things. The DEI programs are hurting young children who work hard. They're choosing children on the color of their skin, not on their merit and their accomplishments, and they're allowing anti-Semitism to work. You've got to use federal levers to crack down on this stuff. Otherwise, you're going to have a totally racist and incomparable Harvard in just a few years.
So this big news yesterday, former President Obama came out in support of Harvard. He said Harvard has set an example for other higher ed institutions, rejecting an unlawful and ham-handed attempt at stifling academic freedom. Is that what the Trump administration is attempting to do here, stifle academic freedom?
No, in fact, what President Trump is doing is he's standing up for academic freedom and for getting back to a merit-based system when it comes to education. We should not be rewarding children or choosing whether to live in this country based on the color of their skin or on their religion, and that's exactly what Harvard has been doing. And by the way, Harvard has a $53 billion endowment. They are flush with cash, and taxpayers probably shouldn't be subsidizing them at this point anyway. It's something when Harvard's charging $90,000 a year in tuition. It's absolutely atrocious, but President Trump is the only one standing up for normal America and for getting back to a future. Yeah, to that point, Newfound College responding to this attempt by Harvard to fight back against the president, saying, okay, there's another way to use the taxpayer money. So what if they both went their separate ways? Terry, what did you think? Harvard said, okay, we're going to refuse the taxpayer money, we're going to keep what we want, and then the taxpayers of America kind of get their money back. I think that would be a much better situation for all of us, a much more ethical and moral system. No American should be forced to subsidize any education pushing radical and not just radical, but harmful ideas on a student is choosing winners and losers based on their religion and also on the color of their skin. It's an absolute losing chemistry for the American taxpayer.
Okay, so from Massachusetts, Terry, to Maine, we all left state is locked in a battle with the Trump administration for allowing biological men to compete in women's sports. But just recently, there was one Maine school district in a conservative area of the state who voted to side with the Trump administration, keeping boys in men's sports and girls in girls sports. Tyler Putnam is the superintendent's name of MSAD 70, that's the school district. Told Fox News Digital, it is my interpretation that the school board will be looking to approve policies that align biological sex to their specific athletic teams. Our board, similar to many people in Maine, have been following the back-and-forth communication between the federal government and the state. We are hoping for both sides to work together to help support local school districts like ourselves. So what do you think about this from an ideological standpoint and voting to side with the federal government, but also legally, when the school district is siding with the federal government and an executive order of the president signed over state law?
Well, Carly, look, I think this is the right call. Obviously, men are men and women are women, and men should not be joining women's sports. Janet Mills, the governor of Maine, is out of control, and she's completely out of step with not just the American people, but with the vast majority of voters in Maine. I do so much polling on this. I've been polling the transgender sports issues for 9 years now, and the numbers are actually turning away from the Democrats in a stronger fashion. For example, prior to the election, the American people were 65% in support of getting men out of women's sports. But after the election, President Trump signed his executive order into law. That support was up to 78% support for President Trump's executive order that got men out of girls' sports. So these Democrats, they can keep fighting this issue as much as they want, but the American people don't want to endanger our daughters, and they definitely don't want to take away their opportunities. So Jan Mills can do what she wants to do, but these localities are in the right, and they're in the majority when it comes to it.
It certainly is an odd bill for the Democrats to go down, but it seems like that's what they're choosing. Terry Shelley, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Choosing. It is a suburb today. Americans are ditching the hustle and bustle of the city for the ritz of the world.
Ellie gets so nervous. Do you tell me when it happens, or? Did he just leave? Come on, bring it back. If he smells this good, it's got my attention. Bring it back, please. As a viewer, a spectator, life and heart migraine, 15 or more headaches a month, each lasts 4 hours or more. Botox prevents chronic migraine. In a survey, 91% of users wish they started sooner. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine may still keep you from being there. Ask your doctor about Botox today. Learn how athletes can help you soon.
I love why stuff is up, and not just because I look good naked. The all-day energy I get is good too, and it's easy on the phone. But mostly because I look good naked.
800 right now if you qualify as selfie for medications that will go and other GLP-1 for as little as $25 a month. Text yes to 200 300. That's yes 200 300.
At Public Rec, we develop premium performance fabrics that are built to last and hard to live without. Our Daymaker pants, with their various sizing options, are designed to fit your life's moments. More comfortable than jeans, more stylish than sweats.
Household Group is America's new focus.
Living in here, demanding answers.
So it's the Funky Focus. Weekdays at 11 on Fox News 2.
Get 30 to 50% off almost everything. It's Old Navy.
Deep Eddy Vodka. Handcrafted with real fruit.
Current owners and lessons of an elevated competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low mileage lease on this 2025 Cadillac Lyriq all-wheel drive luxury one for around $489 per month. Pain hits better, so get relief back. Tylenol Rapid Release Gel.
Not how you would have done it. You bundle things right. That saves you up to 10%.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family. Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
Provides us with reliability, lightning speed, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet, starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Eat like a beast. Live like a beast. Wait. I'm not finished.
It's time to listen to science that matters.
New research shows the fastest growing suburbs in America and the salary you would need to afford living there.
Reference like this. Chef Jay from our assistant Eric Buck is here to break it all down.
Not living paycheck to paycheck. That's the dream, right? The goal. Yeah, that's the goal. So these are fast-growing suburbs. They're near major metropolitan areas, but the salary component I think is really interesting. Take a look at this. This is based on population data from 2018 to 2023. Woodbridge, Virginia. It is a suburb of D.C. Look at the population growth. 882% jump. Average salary to live there, $124,000 in change. Also, top of the list, 3 different places in Texas. Orchard, Texas, which is west of Houston. This is also there's been a large population growth there, really since COVID, to be clear. A lot of people left the major cities during COVID and know about that. Orchard, Texas, anyway, average salary, $199,000 and $99. Salina, Texas, that's north of Dallas. You're there at Prosper, Texas, where the training facility is for the Cowboys. No, you didn't know that one? Salina, Texas, anyway, average salary there is $37,000. Princeton, Texas is also kind of that same area. Average salary, that's $95,000. And then number 5, Queen Creek, Arizona. So this is southeast of Phoenix and Scottsdale. And we talked about the fact that we've seen a lot of population growth in the Arizona area. Obviously, you don't get the hurricanes in Florida. You get a lot of people that are retiring and going to Arizona, Florida these days. Average salary is $87,000. Okay, so we're moving to show the Woodbridge, Virginia. Apparently, that's the number 1. The number 5 on that list is from a lot called Cheryl State. And we're not trying to get rid of it. We look. But I mean, you have 2 great options if you wanted to sort of say, I'm going with the big city, going to one of my states. My brother and his family, they love Prosper, but now that's really exploded in growth. So the other, the Salina, Texas, and Princeton, Texas are actually in that same kind of area. Yeah. It's incredible. So everybody loves like this, like you said, Alex, except for the people who live in these areas. So many houses like to go up. American Dream home now available on Fox Station. It's not just a house; it's a home. You can show it's on. We've been to Texas, we've been to Arizona. Who says we like that?
easier job. And I'm not saying it was easy for you, but convincing their localities and other cities in their state to comply with the law. When you look at, places like New York and other places maybe with a Republican governor and a non-Republican city, they have a more difficult time. So why? What is that you guys in Florida that you're able to convince people to conform?
Yeah, look, our leaders, they know what they were elected to do. They know what the citizens of Florida want. Public safety is what makes us such an incredible state. And our law enforcement officers, they're excited to enforce the law for a change. We're the first state that had all of our state law enforcement officers, all of our sheriffs, formally certified by ICE to get this delegated responsibility. Look, we show that we mean what we say. We're not just talk. If you're going to break the law, we're not going to just talk about it. We're going to hold you accountable. So local governments, mayors, you're all on notice. We want to work together with you. We want to help you keep Florida safe.
Well, Fox News.com just published an article quite literally a moment ago saying that you are putting woke companies on notice. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, look, we brought a lawsuit my first week in office against Target, suing them for the harm that our state pension fund suffered when they decided to roll out a transgender children's clothing line. Look, companies do have some First Amendment rights, but when you're a publicly traded company, you have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders, to us, ultimately the retirement fund for our teachers and law enforcement officers. So we've been telling companies, get back to the business of doing business, stay out of this radical leftist ideological politics, and just bring in revenue. You also want them to make money. It's good for the economy, and ultimately it's good for our investments.
To tie all these topics together, it will be interesting to see if these corporations follow the lead of the cities and towns in Florida that heard what we said on the other stuff and said we better follow, otherwise there will be consequences. A.G. James Buckmeyer, thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
Let's go to Brian now. Brian Kelly for a look at what is coming up on Fox. Good morning to you, sir.
I am real pumped up, but guys, we are not ready for the show yet because Ed's busy. Like everybody else is really busy. It's a big Wednesday morning, and we have a huge production budget. After nearly 600 candidates in 10 days, the jury is seated in Karen Reed's murder trial. We're going to talk to a jury from the original trial about the evidence and whether she's guilty or not. Plus, Donald Trump, raising billions of dollars in federal funding for Harvard, now considering axing the package on status. Thank you very much. Senator Tom Cotton is a Harvard grad. We're going to ask him what he thinks about that. And look at this video. That's the difference of the border man. So the Biden as opposed to Donald Trump. Pretty amazing. Border guard Tom Holman is there. And record crossing numbers, too, on that and more coming up in this hour. If we're ready, this is like it for Ed. And should we be helping with that? Because Ed doesn't get paid. It's from 6. Leaving won't even help. I'm going to talk to him about that. Chris, you can just put that over there. That's all I have. We're just about done. Jen, I think you'd be a little bit more of a help. Chris, you can bring that line forward. There you go. We're going to try to be ready. I hope we're ready. Keep your fingers crossed. I hope Lauren's up. It's who's supposed to win Lawrence?
Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses every year using powerful equipment custom built by us. It's not cleaning until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Most power players on Wall Street racing NVIDIA are strong buys today. Yet why don't so many legendary investors quietly ignoring that advice and instead selling the stock hand over fist? Every billionaire on screen sold NVIDIA last year. Some have offloaded millions of shares. And mark my words, this is bigger than NVIDIA. Hedge funds are quietly selling all of their tech stocks at the fastest rate we've seen since 2016. It begs the question, what do they know that you don't? My name is Mark Sagan. I helped build 3 indices for the NASDAQ during my 50 years on Wall Street. That means I know how to recognize these signals from the tech market and exactly what they mean for you and your money. I explain everything in my new market briefing, including the truth of what's going on with NVIDIA today and the specific stock I recommend you buy instead. I'll give you its name and ticker when you visit the website below. NVIDIA has been the most talked about stock in the market, and for good reason.
revolution that has taken the U.S. stock market by storm. Since they announced their AI-powered computing chip in 2023, NVIDIA's stock has been on a history-making tear, officially surpassing Microsoft to become the world's most valuable company. Today, however, many investors are worried the tide has changed. NVIDIA's day in the sun may soon be coming to a dramatic end. And as a result, I predict that different under-the-radar stock is find some big potential gains from this moment on. To get a name and ticker 100% free, simply visit the website below.
Don't buy Viagra or Cialis anywhere before trying this trick. It's called Friday Plan, and it's the only way to get 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra or 20 milligram generic Cialis delivered for just $7. Let me show you. First, scan the QR code to go to getfridayplans.com. Then, you select if you need generic Viagra or Cialis. The quantity you need, I'll pick 9, and the dosage. I'll pick 100 milligrams, thank you very much. And then their system will see if you qualify. Give it a second to find the best deal, and boom. Look at that. 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7. 9 tablets of 20 milligram Cialis are the same price. The prescription and shipping are free. Scan the QR code to go to getfridayplans.com and see for yourself.
Back in 2017, I got my nonstick pan. Totally forgot that I left the pan on the open flame. I started smelling fumes and smoke from this experience. Got really inspired to try an alternative to Teflon, and with that, fairway home is born.
And free pitches for wins now come with Lightset Package. This actually gives you an idea of about how my favorite sports in the U.S.
Honestly, I was scared when I was told age-related macular degeneration could jeopardize my vision.
Great. One more thing to worry about.
Having problems is hard to deal with in the beginning, but making a plan with my doctor to add Preservision was easy.
Preservision A-Red 2 contains the exact AI-recommended clinically proven nutrient formula to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Thanks to Preservision, I feel better, but I'm doing something about it, like learning about it.
Preservision.
President Donald Trump on Fox News yes, like instant interview with the president today.
We're very close to 100 days, actually. He had made such an impact.
Watching Spanish at newsweek.com today at 4 p.m.
Take a look at this. Protesters repeatedly interrupting a town hall held by Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene last night, leading to ejections and even 2 people tased by police. Only 6 people were taken out of the town hall without incident, but 3 others were taken into custody after police say they resisted arrest. Police say it's glad to see protesters removed and that town hall should be peaceful. President Trump changing how the federal government does business with some new executive orders directing agencies to purchase more off-the-shelf items and in rural areas. The newly signed order reads the following. The American people are spread across more than 2.8 million square miles in urban, suburban, and rural areas to provide the highest quality services in an efficient and cost-effective manner. Executive departments and agencies must be where the people are.
RNC senior advisor Ian Alvarez joined us now getting on the morning street. So President Trump says he wants to bring the swamp, and he would certainly do it because one of these executive orders is all about moving agency headquarters out of Washington, D.C. So are we going to start to see a move here where the Agriculture Department moves to a rural state and maybe the Department of Transportation moves to Michigan? Tell us more about this effort and practically what it could mean for the moving of these department headquarters.
I think it's brilliant. President Trump said that he's going to bring the swamp. He said he's going to cut and regulate federal spending. The reality is that I lived in Washington, D.C. for 2 years. It's not real life. Washington, D.C. is a bubble. It's a bubble where everyone has very strong thoughts and ideas that are separate and apart from the way that Americans feel across the country. So I think it's brilliant to bring these agencies to the rest of the country, to bring these agencies to the people that they serve. I also think it's wonderful because President Trump has an effort with
also cheaper to operate in rural areas, saving the taxpayers money. So I think this is a win-win all around. Hopefully it comes to pass. Meantime, I want to get your thoughts on this. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Bernie Sanders were in California on their fight oligarchy tour as the New York Progressive boasts about fundraising numbers on X. Here's what AOC says. I cannot convey enough how grateful I am to the millions of people supporting us with your time, resources, and energy. Your support has allowed us to rally people together at record scale to organize their communities, all with an average donation of $21. And the numbers are really interesting here, yeah? Because 2020 to now, they have significantly jumped. I mean, look, some of the 2020 4.4 million now, that's more than double. 9.6 million in Q1. But also keep in mind these areas where AFC and Bernie are going are pretty red areas, albeit sometimes in blue states. Yesterday they were in Bakersfield, California. Bakersfield is red. So, with all of this in mind, should Republicans be worried?
Absolutely. They're walking into a bar. And so now they have a stranglehold on the Democrat Party. We know the Democrats are absolutely rudderless. We know that they lack leadership. In fact, we saw Joe Biden out yesterday. I mean, what an absolute disaster. This Democrat Party, they have nobody at the helm. They have no common sense policies that they support. All they're doing is oppose President Trump. It's an absolute mess over there. And if AOC and Bernie Sanders are at the helm of the Democrat Party, Republicans will be safe because we are going to govern well 4 years under President Trump's leadership through a Republican majority of the House and Senate, and we're going to win in the upcoming midterm.
Speaking of which, new political fundraising data shows that the GOP could face a slew of tough primaries. That's GOP on GOP violence in like states, most notably in the Lone Star State, AG Ken Paxton versus Senator John Cornyn. Are you worried that these inter-party clashes will damage the Republican candidate in the general?
I'm absolutely not. The reality of the situation is that Republicans are going to fight based on ideas. They're going to make sure to earn, every single vote. And everyone is taking President Trump's endorsement because it's political gold, not Republican gold. It's political gold. So we know that the president is going to win at some point. He's already weighed in on the Ohio governor's race, supporting the Big Ramaswamy. He's already supporting Byron Donalds in the Florida gubernatorial race. We're still a year and a half out, so I imagine that he will get involved in some other races. But the reality is that for Republicans, the primary is a contest of ideas. Only Democrats simply have Kamala Harris there as Democrat nominee. Republicans are going to have great primaries, come up with great candidates, and win big.
The president said that when it comes to the Texas race, he started with Bull Paxton in Florida to show her way in at the appropriate time. Remarkable, we're already talking about another election cycle, but such is life in the U.S. of A. Thank you so much. Fox and Thursday.
All right, folks, the connection of others. I start the show again. Unbelievable Tuesday lunch that was yesterday. I created on the couch. What you did to lead into the show was diabolical. Yeah, you read the promo? That's exactly right. Going back and forth with the ladder and everything. You understand what goes into putting the show together. And I'm so jacked. I did it 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Philadelphia now right now. It is Wednesday, April 16th. This is Fox and Friends, and this is what we are following this morning a lot. The mom of Rachel Warren, who was killed by an illegal immigrant. A mother of 5 is speaking out as the Democratic senator who represents her state goes to El Salvador to check on a suspected MS-13 member who lives in Maryland. Reporters are Tom Holmes is going to be on Fox and Friends later. He is fired up. And he's back. Former President Joe Biden making his first appearance post-presidency, and he went right after the Trump administration. Look what's happening. Should there be no complaints? Mr. Administration has made serious, in the first serious destruction.
Plus, President Trump now threatening Harvard's tax-exempt status as the university rejects the administration's demand.
Why do Ivy League schools get so much federal funding?
It's a very good question.
election. And it's a question the president has obviously raised in his discussions and negotiations.
Right. Thoughts and first thoughts.
Happening today, a Democrat senator is traveling down to El Salvador to try to get a deported, suspected migrant gang member back to the United States.
Really trouble. This comes as other Democrats push for a welfare check at the mega prison where the worst of the worst are being held. Maybe you should get his aura right. Let's check that.
The script victim is live in Washington with more. So, Jim, suddenly, this is an issue the Democrats are embracing. Well, they're rallying around it. Good morning, Steve, Engraving, and Marz. And look, this may be a first we're going to witness there. Sitting U.S. Senator coming to a foreign country to advocate for an illegal alien being affiliated with MS-13 deported to the same country. But that's exactly what Maryland's Democrat Senator Christine Holland says he's doing today. Why? I don't even know if we're going to, but I am planning tomorrow to go to El Salvador. The work of bringing it home. It's one administration that did it in federal court that he was abducted in the United States. And he's not the only Democrat running around, so a federal judge ordering that some of these facilitate his return, as many as a dozen of Democrats want to follow. And these representatives, Robert Garcia and Max Frost, requesting that Trudeau be authorized to travel on the taxpayer dime in the letter they write. A congressional delegation would allow committee members to make a welfare check on the two Bridges Garcia, as well as others help and CPAC. Democrats President Holland is noted Rachel Morris, a Maryland mother of five, murdered by an illegal alien victim of Hernandez, found guilty this week of first-degree premeditated murder and first-degree rape. There was no press conference weekend on standing in solidarity with the grieving Ward family. It's almost everybody on a statement saying the verdict brought a potent measure of justice. And there may be even more senators heading to El Salvador. Politico reporting this morning that Cory Booker may be looking at making that step as well. Guys? And a couple of members of Congress are asking James Coleman to authorize Odell so they can go down as well, both Democrats. But also there was an action yesterday at the federal court level, and that is the judge who essentially said, okay, the federal government's got to facilitate bringing back. Supreme Court said you got to facilitate coming back. And now they put the administration on notice. You got 2 weeks to tell me exactly how hard you try to bring that back. Well, that's right, Steve. All Dennis, the federal judge in this case, said that the Supreme Court backed her up in that facilitation. The administration fighting over the word facilitating return does not demand actual return. She's actually given the administration basically until tomorrow to explain why she hasn't been brought back with this tougher deadline. But I think what's going to be interesting as this all plays out is the parallel political track, because it'll be interesting to see what Tom Homan has to say to you guys, because Christian Holmes is using the word abducted, illegally, that very much he was illegally abducted, and there's something in the language or in the case that they said 2019 that he was abducted, he was brought in to be in full removal, just not specifically to El Salvador. See, maybe you know, Chris, the proceedings on this. I don't understand why those ones that give permission for Democrats to have it put out, just so they don't have to pull the money out of their pocket. To authorize it, as you know, Congress holds the purse strings and the party in power. Jim Comer is the chairman, so he would have to authorize ultimately and sign off on spending taxpayer dime to send these Democrats down on this Odell to do whatever they're going to do to advocate on the case of an illegal alien deported back to his home country. I didn't know the majority was in charge of that too, but thanks so much for appreciating it, because they need security and also oversight. They're going to ask, but they're purpose to say no. However, Ben Collins is gone. There's about it today. But the bottom line is, Rachel Moore was a part of this issue from there. And I've spent the entire morning trying to find his public comments. I can only find the statement from yesterday where the person was convicted of murdering her. He didn't say anything. There was no protest.
This is the type of stuff that really ticks off the American people. When our citizens die, when they're brutally raped, there's no outrage from the media or Democrats, but suddenly this guy, oh, the only thing that anything that he was accused of is when he was recruited. So that's the only thing.
Caroline, I love it. We have so much to say on this. I want to play this soundbite, and then I want to play Rachel Moore's mom soundbite, and then I want to get into the meat of this. Here's Caroline, love it for the record. It's mind-boggling, the priorities of the modern-day Democrat Party. I think it's atrocious that you have Democrats in Congress on Capitol Hill who won't swear an oath to protect their constituents and to serve them in Washington, D.C., spending more time defending illegal immigrant gang members than their own constituents and law-abiding American citizens like Rachel did.
I'm very angry. I'm actually outraged. But I'm concerned I'm so angry at the same time. There was no action on the Democratic Party in any way, from Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, my orchids, anyone here in Maryland, none of the senators did anything to help search for the murderer of my daughter.
So this is what's so upsetting. You have this senator of Maryland, Senator Chris Van Hollen, who's going down there. He says the court has ordered the safe return of my constituents. He's talking about this MS-13. Two courts said he's an MS-13. ISIS confirmed he was an MS-13, which means he's a terrorist in our country. So he gets kicked out of our country, and now that's the constituent he cares about. Isn't he even a constituent? A constituent is a voting member of a community. Can't you vote in Maryland? Not for federal elections, right? So Pat Moran says, I live in this district. He never came to visit me. I live in the same district. He could have come over to my house and said, hey, and I didn't hear from Democrats. I didn't hear from Joe Biden, Kamala, Mayorkas, or her senator. She did hear from the governor, Rep. Moore, but she said he didn't do anything about anything after that.
Well, the reason she didn't hear from any Democrats is that politically it's a losing proposition. It's true. Listen, when somebody, it's two different, it's the same topic, but it's two different stories. You know, the Michael kills the woman in Maryland, that's one story, but this one is so much better because the way the Democrats are spinning it is this was a El Salvadoran who was in the country legally and was, which is not true. No, he was. No, he was not. He had a final deportation order. The only thing that he disputed where he was from. I can give you the background. So he comes over at 16, by his parents, and his so-called qualifies agreement, whatever that is. At 19, he gets picked up. At 20 years old, he gets picked up in front of the Home Depot. And the Prince County cops pick him up, and they go, this guy's here illegally. He's a suspected gang member. We're turning him over to ICE. He ends up in front of a court, and the judge, Richard Fetzer, says, you're a verified MS-13 ICE member. You're avoided hearing, and there's going to be evidence, so it's going to be coming up in 8 months. So December 29th, he appealed because he was supposed to be deported, and he says, they said, again, you're a member of MS-13. He said, okay, if you're going to kick out of the country, I'd like to apply for asylum. And they go, okay, you can apply for asylum. I don't know where you're going to. He said, by the way, so if you do kick me out, it looks like you're going to kick me out. If you do kick me out, I'm going to say, whatever you do, don't kick me out to El Salvador. So, okay. So they go, he is on a legal order. Living from that time to 2025. He's living here. He doesn't need to be moved at any moment. Now, people say, okay, he could have been kicked out to any country. Why doesn't it El Salvador? Stephen Miller says, yes, they go to Africa. The reason why you're for El Salvador is MS-13. MS-13 has been eliminated as a threat because the El Salvador president arrested all of them, net vaccines and all. So you could say, on one count, he's eliminated as a threat. On one count is MS-13 infection. His president is a terrorist. Is a terrorist group. So we kick you out for being a member of a terrorist group. So this senator and the Corral want to go down and visit the MS-13 member living under removal order in Maryland. He's not an American. He may be a dad, but it has nothing to do with his legal status. Is one of the most brutal gangs you ever thought about. So that's who you want to vote for. That's what we do. But my earlier point was, the Democrats may see it on this and say, hey, this guy who was in the country, they're telling all their money to send back there to go out and do some stuff. I mean, that's what we're going to hear over differences about the situation. Yeah, is an illegal immigrant on a illegal border, and if you want to know why he's in El Salvador, you say, well, the various things sent him out of El Salvador, but not getting out the country. That's what Senator Van Howard cares about. Not Richard Warren, not the illegals, not the 2.5 million criminal record that's stuck in over the last 4 years. Not that he cares about this crime.
So a lot of these illegal immigrants came in under the watch of Joe Biden. They essentially just left the border open. Now the border is 95% closed. And we'll show later in the show the difference. Pictures before and after. You're not going to be shocked. That's right. Tom's not going to be on our show. And Joe Biden came out yesterday for the first time after losing the presidency or not being president anymore. And he spoke in Chicago for disability advocates. And he criticized President Trump and he criticized the Republican voters.
Thank you. As a United States Senator 40 years ago, and I've never seen hardly any black people Hispanic. And I was going through the fourth grade. And I've never seen a kid go by at the time called colored kids on the bus. The last session. It's called dignity. Simple dignity. And Social Security is one of the government programs. It's a sacred promise. You made it in a sacred promise. By the way, those 50-year-old folks are not sure who they are. Hell of a thing, man. I'm looking for longevity. It's a good sound to talk for Instruction 30%, 20% of the work hard. 30% of the work. Just continue. I think the reason why I think this is happening, because there's still not this about they realize that they can't find the people and the first election, and they got away with it because of chemical, which unfortunately I could just say early on in the administration was already illegal. And then they switched to you have to after that terrible debate with those and I guess the lies just continue. Right now they talk about you can either walk the hall, they sold it away, they're running out of fluorescent, keep on the wall, the big threat. So this is a tragedy. You can't stop them from appearing anywhere, but there's nobody else stepping up. Well, it takes a long time. It needs to be a hero. AOC and Bernie Sanders, that's so Smith, big events with culture. That's not going to resonate with the country. It's going to resonate with their electorate. And yesterday, he decides to do something again. Irresponsible for that to me, saying that Donald Trump is taking away your Social Security. So, in watching that speech yesterday that he gave in Chicago, it reminds everybody why Joe Biden lost. I mean, he lost his fast forward a long time ago, and there he was. Along the same themes that we've heard before. I want to go with the Democrats. The Democrats have decided on a host of different topics. One that got started up in Maryland, and the other is Social Security. That's what the administration is trying to make Social Security more effective. Political topic, but they just need a better person to make the presentation. Every time he's on TV, it's like, just family. We all have family members that have gone through this. They never want to give up the keys. They never want to. And you see it in the anger, but it's up to the family to step in and say, well, something is wrong here.
But she only finishes that's it. He's not admitting any offensive grade on that. You know, he gets invited, he's going to show up. Just real quick, the other thing the president did was ignore anti-Semitism on House steps. He never spoke out about it. He did Senator Schumer when Trump came in. So it happened to Barnard. He spoke out. Barnard is an affiliate of Columbia. He spoke out. He's taken action from the students. The anti-Semitism on campus, throwing at the international students, leading to the unrest, and then clamping down on colleges in Columbia. Harvard fighting back. Right. Harvard came out and said, we are not invited by any suggestion from the administration. The administration came back and said, we'll take $2.5 billion, you're not getting. And then they said your tax exempt status is also in jeopardy. This is a huge stand-up.
Which means they'll have to pay taxes because they're a 501c3 right now.
Right. Keep in mind, though, the reason Harvard is fighting back is because they've got $50 billion in the bank. And that's one of the reasons why the administration did not throw at Harvard. Harvard was always going to fight back, and they did. And look for this to play out over the next couple of days. There was an op-ed signed by 60 current and former presidents of universities in Fortune magazine yesterday, and said essentially Harvard's doing the right thing. Ultimately, though, when tax exempt status comes into play, along the line start pushing buttons like, what are you guys doing? It'll be interesting to see how long Harvard alumni is doing. Well, they're really offended by what's going on right now. They're pretty offended that U.S. freshmen coming in and don't know that.
Well, if they like it, I love it. And if this is the stand they want to take, fine. We're just not going to take it. We're not going to do the opposite.
These anti-administration are going to say, we'll find Harvard. We'll give them money because did you say that some of these Middle Eastern countries are giving money to these Ivy League schools?
They're also looking at the international funding involved with these companies like Pegasus and others that are getting all this money. It's like, here's how much from China. But, that's our national interest to allow that. I think it's going to be parameters like that.
Okay, we're heated up this morning.
So a lot going on.
Let's get it up with Carly. She has some more highlights for us. Hey, Carly, that's right, going to. And I have positive update on a story we have been following. South African police say they have rescued a kidnapped American pastor following a deadly shootout. Pastor John Sullivan of Tennessee was kidnapped by 4 armed gunmen in South Africa in the middle of a sermon last week. Officials received tips that he was being held in a safe house. When they arrived, some suspects inside a car began firing. A shootout took place and 3 suspects were killed, but the pastor was found unharmed. New footage released when first responders arrived at Newfound's campsite home, only to find the applicant and his wife dead. Body camera video shows their dog staying by Betsy's side, that's Newfound's wife, as deputies showed up. Health officials say the home was infested with rodents, and as the autopsy showed, Betsy did die of hantavirus, which is carried by rodents. Police also revealing Hackman's wife did online research on COVID symptoms days before her death. Happening today, Health and Human Services Secretary R.K. Jr. will hold a news conference to discuss new CDC data on autism. The report showing autism in the U.S. has increased from 1 in 36 children diagnosed to 1 in 31. Federal officials calling it a critical health crisis that they're committed to investigating. Just last week, Kennedy promised to get answers about the root cause of autism by September. And listen to this, multiple liberal outlets are now running an article that says dogs are bad for the environment. The story originally posted by The Guardian argues while dogs may be their best friend, they are a mother nature's villain. And it highlights the poll's extensive environmental impacts like disturbing wildlife, polluting waterways, and contributing to carbon emissions. Some dog lovers making fun of the report, including one columnist who goes, did a cat write this? Guys, are they trying to cancel dogs?
It kind of sounds like that.
Is there anything
what's popular in canceling dogs? A piece of baby. Who knew that dog had such a gigantic carbon footprint? Another 90 tennis. Way to go, guys.
left idea?
Yeah, way to go, guys. What the researchers did say was, if you're concerned, just keep your dog on a leash. It's that.
What?
keep the dog on a leash so that it doesn't bother the birds. Bigelow store birds. This is worth it.
My dog is smaller than a bird. Stop bothering anyone. Now keep it.
Yelling on top of them.
Yeah, basically. For murder retrial, before it has even started, why Karen Reed is telling the prosecution, come at me.
And the West comes to my high school mascot, and everything is going on because they're named after an Indian tribe. A prominent Native American group explains why George Soros is behind the push to stop Indian names from continuing in our culture.
Children across America will rely on Medicaid for healthcare. Regular checkups, life-saving surgeries, and ER visits. Medicaid helps keep almost half of America's kids healthy. But now, some politicians are playing that devastating message. Helps say that threatening to care for children and parents. We need mandatory health care. So tell Congress, protect Medicaid. Take action. Strengthen healthcare.org.
Litter robots have now solved the litter box problem for over 1 million pet parents around the world. Hi, I'm Brad Baxter, founder of Lister and Litter Robots. You'll never scoop again, and your cat will always have a safe home of litter. Join the Lister family. Try a Litter Robot today.
Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. For almost 20 years, Abacus Life has been purchasing life insurance policies for seniors. And in just seconds, you can use the free calculator at abacuspace.com to learn what your policy might be worth. Premiums for getting and just didn't use the coverage. Don't sell or lapse your policy without going to abacuspace.com first. There are no fees and no obligations. Get the real value for your life insurance when you need it with Abacus.
Something which is better at home, like picking out new floors. That's Empire's home floor advantage. Our flooring experts come to you so you can compare hundreds of samples in your home. Plus, you get clear, all-inclusive pricing. No surprise. It's our best sale of the year. Get up to 45% off your entire project. Call or visit EmpireToday.com. Get the home floor advantage.
ShipStation lets you keep up with the flow of your business. You can sync inventory and manage returns across all of your sales channels, so you ship the right products to the right customers. Head to ShipStation.com to start your free trial. I know how to make slick-looking goggles / glasses, but I have no idea how to make slick-looking social media.
But GoDaddy Hero uses AI to create social content out of thin air, like this one.
Donate to a cause of today's subject and help support Solar Power. The process is quick, simple, and the proceeds from your generous car donation will go to support the good work that CCC is doing throughout our community. Any car is accepted, running or not running, and we will pick it up for free. Your car donation will help Solar Power to help our dedicated veterans and their families. The fall thing is, I feel best. And you can donate your car online at thedailyspectrum.org. Those border plans already paying off.
As the president continues its crackdown on illegals, Jesse breaks down the outcry from the left. Tonight on Prime Time.
It's Pod's biggest sale in history. Save up to 30% until May 19th at pods.com today.
It's the value of McDonald's. You'll get more than you expect. With deals in the app. All day, every day.
Enjoy deals like 20% off your purchase of $8 or more, only in the app. Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody. Fast, reliable internet, starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment. You connect.
America's beverage companies are working together. We're delivering more choices with less sugar. Nearly 60% of beverages Americans buy have 0 sugar. When it comes to reducing sugar in your family's diet, the more choices, the better.
Joe Biden giving his first speech since leaving the White House, condemning both the Trump administration and the millions of voters who elected him.
Republicans and these guys are willing to vote in the class and vote in Congress. We're going to live smoothly and they will for the already very well. Who in the hell they think they are? It's never been this divided. Now it's roughly 30%, but it's a 30% that has no heart.
Fox News contributor Guy Benson joined us now to react. Hey guys.
Morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Welcome back. What do you think?
Well, I know for a fact that a lot of Democrats saw his reemergence, perhaps shrugged, gritted their teeth, recognized that it's probably inevitable that he would appear on a stage somewhere at some point, but they were probably hoping that moment would go far into the future. I think they would love for him to have stayed away because he's not a helpful messenger for their party or their cause on virtually anything, even the clip that you just played. It's just muddled, it's a little bit slurry, and the man is really too old to be making a crisp case, even on a subject that the Democrats might feel like they've got some advantage on, or some political high ground on. And it's one thing to go after your successor. For a long time, presidents didn't do that, by the way, and that sort of changed recently, fine. But to attack again a huge chunk of voters in the process, this is a rate that Democrats keep stepping on over and over again. It's sort of mystifying that they decided to write that into the script. I don't think he wrote it himself. I would guess that maybe the former First Lady sort of pushed him out there. Come on, Joe, we've got to stay relevant. We'll probably need some relevance to sell books and that sort of thing. But there he was in Chicago, and it was not a pretty sight.
Yeah, and Guy, as he started speaking before the volume of the music started to go down, he was saying the same thing he said on campaign trail over the last 4 years. You're going to get in trouble if I say this. And he actually made fun of what Doge has revealed to the American people. He said, by the way, those 300-year-old folks getting that Social Security, I want to meet them because I'd like to figure out how they're doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, Mr. President. That's why Doge is looking into this.
Morning, Sarah. Good call.
I actually happen to believe
Interview.
Social Security and Medicare.
Cool. Morning, Mr. Rowland. Sales and payments, invoice.
Democrats were attacking Republicans for a non-existent policy that has no basis in fact, just because they hope it would resonate. It's actually a bipartisan consensus right now to not tax Social Security. They rolled out Joe Biden, talked about it anyway, trying to scare older people, which is, I guess, part of their playbook, but it's pretty gross.
Oh, shit.
In that speech, I'm sure he's getting paid to do these speeches that will probably, make it, I guess we'll make a few of these speeches going forward. But my question is, what is the stupid Democratic Party? Because when I watch him speak, all it is a reminder of why Donald Trump won.
Again, I think that they would love for him to stay in his basement where he was during the 2020 campaign, find that basement again, and send the former president back to it, because he is not a helpful surrogate for the party in virtually any way. And
All right.
it just brings back the memory that he was president not long ago, and their entire party and almost all of the media told us that that man could be president for the next 4 years, which was intense gaslighting.
The party's definitely in trouble. Last week there was a story about Kamala Harris and what some of her friends were saying behind the scenes, that they were upset with him for not getting out sooner because they thought she could win if she had more than 100 plus days to run. Guy, thank you so much for coming on the bus. Good to see you.
Yeah, that's all so delusional. Great to see you.
Thank you. The murder that rocked Massachusetts, a jury now seated for Karen Reed's retrial. Shanley Painter has a report live from the courthouse. And one of the original jurors speaks out why he thinks she isn't guilty of murder.
Joe Biden's open border created big costs for local airlines companies.
Because by law, illegal aliens hate cell phones. But even now, the President Trump has secured our border big wireless demand. So they're lobbying to grab our nation's spectrum at the expense of our military and the technology used to help secure our southern border. We need conservative patriots to take a stand. Call Senator Ted Cruz and tell him to protect our border, not vote wireless profits.
Your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayer. Someone who's there. Reach out and touch base.
Ever feel like expecting in your own life that cause migraine, 15 or more headaches a month, each less than 4 hours or more? Botox prevents symptoms that cause migraine. In a survey, 91% of users wish they started sooner. So quickly, talk to your doctor.
Botox effect makes great hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away. Trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and more. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history. Muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like oxygen toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine will keep you from being there. Ask your doctor about Botox today. Learn how asthma can help you save. A certain farmer's daughter is on the way for homework. The homebody who only goes outside when nature calls. Her mom uses Chewy to get her food and sickness at a great price. Delivered fast, right to their door. For quality medicine, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Some people like doing things the hard way, like doing your finances in a spreadsheet instead of using Quicken. Quicken pulls all your financial info together in one place and updates it automatically. How easy is that? Hey guys, there's a change here. You changes. The 3 rows of yes, because everyone should feel like this is a
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis has come a long way. Your family never said it start. You charge ahead. So why would life with ATTR and CM define you? You have to file choice. ORTUR is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR and CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. People take ORTUR saw an impact on health-related quality of life and were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues, giving you more chances to do what you love with who you love. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if ORTUR is right for you. It's time to get busy living. So tired of being told no. No to my dreams. But Shoutout made it easy to get this brand going. And we can take golf to a realm that we've never seen before. With these sound golf through the power by Shoutout. And especially on sound like this pumping out now, you get more for your money so you can maximize any day baseball, like starting game day for free. Breakfast. I got one more power on you. Check it more. Look to that at overtime.com. Is the worst. But now, there's Spruce. You'll see visible results in 1 hour and dead weeks in 1 day. And it's safe for use around the firm test. Spruce, a new hard-working, worry-free, eating rapid. All right,
Jury selection is now complete in the Karen Reed murder retrial with opening statements expected next week. Chandler Painter is live outside the Norfolk County Superior Court in Massachusetts. Good morning, Chandler. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve. That's right. Karen Reed will actually be back inside this Massachusetts courthouse today, later this morning, for a
Yo, 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 yo. Start the deep.
finally seated late yesterday, nearly 600 people. Here in question over the course of the last 10 days before the parties were able to select 12 jurors. Garnering worldwide attention and hundreds of supporters.
Almost done with these. Down behind there. This is one girl.
John O'Keefe with her SUV and left him to die in the snow in January 2022. But her defense claimed she was framed in a law enforcement cover-up. Well, outside the courthouse yesterday, Reed showed nothing but confidence. Watch.
Come on, hurry the fuck up. Fuck around.
I may have seen it. I would not have said anything that I wouldn't say again.
Are you like to have more time than the opening statement?
Fuck around.
More time?
We're ready right now.
And Reed's first trial ended in a mistrial, and now Reed has appealed that outcome to the U.S. Supreme Court on grounds of double jeopardy, arguing multiple jurors came forward saying they had acquitted her on 2 different charges in that trial. Well, the nation's highest court will decide whether to even take up that issue later this month, but denied delaying the start of the second trial. In the meantime, Karen Reed, if she is convicted of the top count, faces life in prison. And see that this trial could last up to 8 weeks. Send it back to you.
Well, the last one was 9 weeks, so let's see what happens. Jamie, thank you very much. Live from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Meanwhile, our next guest was a juror from Karen Reed's first murder trial that ended in a mistrial, a hung jury back in July 2024. Ronnie Estanislao joins us right now with what happened behind the scenes. But Ronnie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so ultimately, the last one ended in a hung jury. You guys couldn't decide, but I understand on the very first vote, apparently she was found by everybody in the jury room not guilty of second-degree murder or leaving the scene, right? Well, then what happened after that?
The problem was we misunderstood the directions. It was very clear, and we understood it as all or nothing, all 3 charges, as opposed to separating the charges and treating them individually.
So it was a misunderstanding? You thought you had to find everybody had to be together on all 3, right?
That's correct. And unfortunately, it was only 2 that we were all together. And on one manslaughter charge, we were not together.
It seems like it was a mistake made inside the jury room, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, we didn't clarify that. And there wasn't direction to clarify that. That's how it was supposed to be dealt with as individual charges, not as all 3 as a whole.
So you sat in the jury box, Ronnie, for 9 weeks. Did she kill her boyfriend, Mr. O'Keefe?
Based on the evidence that was provided and testimony, I believe she did not.
Ultimately, it came down to, and you're a paramedic, so you looked at all this information about the condition of Officer O'Keefe. It came down to reasonable doubt, didn't it?
That is correct. There was a lot of reasonable doubt. There was a lot of open questions that was left. And it was very unclear what was ultimately the cause. But based on the evidence, it was not her. And that's my belief.
So, if, they're going to start the trial probably next Wednesday, if they present all the same information,
to the jury as they did to you, and the jury has clear instructions, because there was confusion in your jury, what do you think is going to happen?
I honestly believe in there's a little bit of bias, personal bias in this, but I believe it will come out to the same standings in terms of not guilty for the first and third charge, and it may end up again as a hung jury for that second charge of involuntary manslaughter.
What do you make of her suggestion that she was framed and there was a cover-up?
I believe clearly it was, the investigation was not very well done or well performed, and there could have been actions that were done better. That being said, I don't know if it was truly a cover-up or just faulty investigative work.
Well, we've been wondering what was going on in the jury room. Thank you, Ronnie, for pulling back the curtain and telling us about the confusion there.
No worries. Thank you again so much for having me.
All right. Let's check in with Janice Dean. Janice, right now across much of the country, the temperature is nice. What about the rain and stuff?
Yeah, rain and some snow across the Northeast. We're not done with winter, unfortunately, and the Great Lakes in the upper Midwest. We've got temperatures below freezing. Let's take a look at it. Finally, a little bit of quiet, but we're going to ramp things up again as we get into Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. But you can see we've got the snow across upstate New York, and we had some severe reports yesterday of very strong winds, upwards of 60 miles per hour across the Northeast. Now, here is the setup. We've got this deep trough, area of low pressure comes out of the Rockies and gives us a setup for a multi-day event of severe weather, really starting Thursday into Friday. So there's your look for the Plain States, the Midwest, and then across portions of the central U.S. up towards the Great Lakes. And that's going to be the potential for hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and heavy rainfall on areas that have already seen so much rain this month. And then behind that, snow across the Rockies. So winter not done yet. Steve Ducey will continue to keep you up to date.
We're almost to Easter.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, New York is looking to ban high school from using the Chiefs as their mascot. But why? A Native American group is slamming the idea, and they join us coming up next.
Energy is like a symphony. Every note, every chord, every instrument creates an incredible melody, power, and possibility. But that energy needs to be reliable to have the same power, and affordable to keep mellow. At home, on the road, on farms and fleets, and even ports, propane and renewable propane lower carbon emissions while harnessing the full symphony of energy. Learn more about safe, clean, reliable propane at propane.com.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hard-working Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Since starting the farmer's dog, Bogart has lost so much weight, and he has so much more energy. It's like a puppy again. This is the before picture of Bogart. Such a big boy. 3-portion packs. Makes it really easy to keep him lean and healthy. Look at him now. He's like a show dog.
Vogue. Can you give Daddy a break here? He's having a hard enough time.
United Healthcare knows you've got your whole life ahead of you.
Show me where they are.
It's nice to know you're free to focus on what matters. With reliable Medicare coverage from United Healthcare.
There are many ways to deliver a ship. At Old Dominion Freight Line, we deliver them this way. This way uses technology.
18 of them, Mike.
To do things the right way.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Promises on time, every time.
Goldilocks needs a place of her own, and fast. Thankfully, she's on Redfin. They update their listings every 2 months. And with so many options, she's bound to find exactly what she wants.
This one's just right.
But
At University of Phoenix, we're earning career-relevant skills with every 5 to 6 week course and updating our professional profiles in weeks, not years, as we pursue our bachelor's and master's degrees. Earn career-relevant skills in weeks, not years, at University
And they don't
of Phoenix.
all fit
Litter
in
robots
this.
now solve the litter box problem for over
Gotta make a bigger one.
Hi, I'm Brad Baxter, founder of Whisker and Little Robot. I'm proud to say that every robot has been designed, assembled, and serviced right here in the USA. Try Little Robot today.
It's the Blue Compass RV Spring Blowout Sale. Pick your RV, pick your payment. Travel trailers from $97 a month. Fifth wheels from $273 a month. Motorhomes from $499 a month. At Blue Compass RV.
Wearing regular shoes feels this cramped. For Glide Step wide fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins feel like this. The Skechers slip-ins just step in, no bending down, no.
Alright. I gotta get going.
Outrating the rest. Smart, bold, and always ahead of the curve.
Alexa.
Outnumbered on Fox News. America
And
is
off
watching.
laser. This one off. Work phone. Keys.
Current owners and lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get a slow mileage lease on this 2025 Cadillac Lyriq all-wheel drive luxury one for around $489 per month.
It's Pod's biggest sale in history. Save up to 30% until May 19th. Pod.com today.
And off. It's official. Unlock. Yeah. YouTube, goodbye. Have a good day.